doing it right. Everybody will be dancing when you're feeling alright. Everybody will be dancing tonight. Doing it right. Everybody will be dancing when you're feeling it right. Everybody will be dancing and be doing it right. Everybody will be dancing when you're feeling alright. Everybody will be dancing when you're doing it right. Everybody will be dancing when you're feeling it right. Everybody will be dancing and be doing it right. Everybody will be dancing when you're feeling alright. Everybody will be dancing tonight.
Ah, Christmas. A time for gathering, peace, and the Queen's Christmas speech. It's the one heartwarming time of the year where the whole family is united, looking back at the past year with hopes of goodwill, eyes glued at festive entertainment, feasting unholy gorges of mince pies, succulent turkeys, and a few puddings, whilst at the same time, the outdoors, though bleak, are kissed with elaborate falls of snow, turning it into a spectacle more white than a film starring Vanilla Ice. I'm being serious, that actually did happen. Over the past century, the importance of Christmas has somewhat been damaged by the commercial proliferation of presents, with corporations spending millions upon millions on advertisements to persuade you to buy their sassy goods. Back in the day, it was about simple delights like a set of crayons, Legos and action figures, with rich kids securing bicycles and newfangled TV games. As if they'll ever catch on, but today, most wish lists at Old St. Nick consist of the latest technology so grand it's amazing your wallet does not collapse after every transaction. TVs, PlayStations, Xboxes, tablets, smartphones, so much more!
You wanna go?
iSheet, copy bots.
Autocorrect this!
One of the most requested kind of gifts are of course video games, anything from casual schmuck to sports and shooters to games of excellent quality. But here's a question, do you know a game whose whole premise is centered around Christmas? Honestly, I'm not surprised if you don't, because there aren't too many titles with such dedication and it's fairly obvious why since they become irrelevant quite soon. I mean, who on earth is going to play something like Santa Claus Saves the Earth when the weather outside is smoking hot and bright skies all over the place? As for the game itself, I don't want to repeat what has already been said about it, but I will remind you that it is indeed a worthless pile of filthy coal. The gameplay is lame, the graphics are tame, and the music is an absolute shame composed from the most fragile Casio synthesizers known to mankind. Oh yeah, would you believe me if I told you that this game was released in 2002? Utterly unacceptable. The PlayStation 2, GameCube and Xbox were already out back then with bally new titles, yet goofy shovelware like this was still being churned out? Beautiful. Now moving back to our star attractions, my own collection seems to be lacking anything with a festive punch. However, I did manage to find a few items that do meet my desire. So, let's get the spirit alive and burning with Birdmania Christmas 3D! Well, how do I begin? First off, this game is a simple casual title where the main protagonist is a bird. Sounds familiar, huh? Originally released for the 3DS eShop in 2012, Birdmania saw a significant re-release the following year just in time for the holidays. Actually, change the word significant to pointless, because really, the two games are exactly identical to each other, with the latter only decorating the levels with snow, replacing balloons with baubles, and giving Mojo the bird a plump Santa hat. Even the story is pretty much the same. It's concerned about little Mojo, who's missed a flight with a flock of other birds to sunny Africa and sets off to the skies all by himself. Unfortunately for him, the journey is not exactly plain sailing since the game consists of only one endless stage, and good lord, it ain't an easy ride across town, sucker! If there's one thing guaranteed about Birdmania Christmas 3D is that you're going to die a lot. Die, 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 die. Die. So yeah, this game is extremely difficult. You'll have to fly to Africa without bumping into anything once throughout the pulsating journey, otherwise it's back to the beginning of the stage. At this point, I'm not sure which task is harder, completing this game or tying yourself with helium balloons and actually flying to Africa on your own. However, you can attack enemy birds through the clicks of the 3DS's shoulder buttons, which will greatly improve your high score, reminding me of the biggest addition to this game, online leaderboards. These are broken down into several categories from different time periods to a leaderboard exclusive to your friends. Chances are you'll never top the all-time scores, but aiming for the weekly high scores is always a likely possibility. All in all, I think Birdmania Christmas 3D is genuinely decent with its addictive gameplay and charm embodied from its predecessor. The music might be annoying at times and the leaderboards are often glitchy, but aside from that, this is a textbook example of a game that can make the long hours trapped inside a train literally fly past. Sure, the 3DS is not intended for quick, simple titles like the ones commonly found on a smartphone, but for only 90p, you really can't go wrong. If you have spare change hanging around, then you're only robbing yourself if you choose to ignore this fun title. Now the next game that's about to get dissected by me is a small game called Elf Bowling on the Game Boy Advance. I have it here dead centered in my hand. See what I did there? I don't actually have the game. I fooled you, I swindled you all! Ladies and gentlemen, Elf Bowling 1 and 2. Overall, this game is just pure unadulterated bullcrap. Wait, what? Are you serious? Is that all we have for Elf Bowling? Hey, Future Sam, could you possibly go back and redo the segment for Elf Bowling, please? Pretty please? Fine, here goes nothing. Elf Bowling 1 and 2 is a video game for play on the Game Boy Advance. You know what? That sentence makes just as much sense as calling The Room a romantic drama film. I did not hit her, it's bullshit. I did not hit her, I did not. Oh, hi Mark. Whereas Birdmania Christmas 3D is solid and enjoyable, this is quite frankly the polar opposite. The original Elf Bowling was a series of popular flash games from the late 90s when the internet was still in its early heydays, before Facebook, YouTube and Soldier Boy were a thing. But fast forward to 2005 and the first two games are mixed together as one slimy concoction for the Nintendo DS and Game Boy Advance to horrible reviews. Both mini-games have easily understandable objectives. Elf Bowling is self-explanatory, where basically you're playing a round of bowling as Daddy Crimbo, and the pins are replaced with his supposed little helpers. On the other hand, Elves in Paradise sees Santa and his brother Chris Dingle wager on a game of shuffleboard to decide who's worthy of the Father Christmas title, and the elves are used as pucks. At first, you'll probably find nothing wrong with the overall game, but the problems are definitely showing. For instance, there's no music at all, which is just pathetic. The less sophisticated Atari 2600 had a few games with small compositions, yet this one does not. Apart from the annoying persistent grunts of the elves, the only sound you're hearing at the moment is my fine English voice. It's probably not going to cause a stir like, I don't know, buffalo custard bath, but hey. It's still oh so sassy for you all to hear. Another issue I have here is that the visuals are rigid, pixelated and downright ugly. I don't care if this is just a port of a PC counterpart, but the Game Boy Advance is way more capable of producing top-notch graphics than what's served here as our dish, like rat poison topped with rotten cherries and hydrofluoric acid as the drink. The worst issue in my opinion is literally how nothing new has been added to the game. No extra levels, no new characters, modes, variety, quality, nothing. Everything you see here is exactly the same as what you would find by searching up the game on Google and playing it for free. On your computer. Seriously, when this was brand new, you were expected to pay $30, let alone a single dime for this squalid mess. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we call in the world of business as daylight robbery. A soulless, lazy attempt to cash in on the commercial side of Christmas, and don't even get me started on Black Friday. Overall, Elf Bowling 1 and 2 is a miserable experience at the lowest of pleasure. The mini-games themselves are harmless fun, the kind that belong on a phone for casual gamers for free, but stuck together on the real cartridge charging wads upon wads of money with no new features is just absurd, a scam of tragic proportions. Can you imagine if a company were to port Flappy Bird onto all systems and charged full price without a single change? Exactly, people would go insane. And before I finish up, I just want to point out that there's an animated movie based on the Elf Bowling series. I've seen it and yeah, it sucks. Redundant plot, lacking characters, crude humour and visuals that would make the music video to Money for Nothing by Dire Straits look like a Pixar masterpiece in comparison. To put things straight, it's a waste of time, just like this rushed excuse of a video game. Goodbye and good riddance.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Well, that pretty much sums up this year's Christmas special. Thank you so much for watching this video and I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See ya! Hang on. No, it can't be.
Oh yeah! Guess who's back from uni? Turn down for what?
Oh hey Ollie, why are you drinking at this time?
It's pre-drinks, Samuel. Pre-drinks.
Yeah, but it's only 2 PM.
We want some? If you want some, I'll give it you.
Is this my Christmas present again? Like last year and the year before?
No, Sam. Actually, this year, I got you a real present. See?
Are you serious? Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals, Sing and Dance. Yeah, I completely forgot about this. A video game dedicated to Andrew Lloyd Webber, the man responsible for such classic musicals from Phantom of the Opera to Cats to Jesus Christ Superstar. Honestly, isn't that a weird idea for a video game? As if the Wii wasn't full enough of casual mulch, we now need a game where we dance the night away with music from this bloke? With these kind of games, it's hard to be critical and execute an actual review. All you do most of the time is just dance, shake what your mama gave to you. No story, no logic, just get your bubble butt off the settee and get groovy on the floor. Titles like Dance Dance Revolution and Just Dance are synonymous with this genre, and with much success everyone will want a piece of the cake. And here we have an offering from Tubby Games with the colourful vibes of one of the most respected theatre moguls in the world. Doesn't sound bad at all. Oh, I see. First issue with this game, presentation. I'm not trying to sound rude or anything, but just look at the ridiculously tacky menus. Am I playing a Wii game or a cutting edge title on a Philips CDI from the early 90s? Also, the menu music is the same loop of Any Dream Will Do from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat repeated over and over again. However, as old saying goes, a book shouldn't be judged by its cover. I mean, look at Eco on the PS2. It's a triumph of gaming bliss, but the North American cover probably convinced your average Joe that it was just generic hack and slash tat, as opposed to the badass cover used everywhere else. But back to Andrew Lloyd Webber, the video game. It's my duty to give you all a clear opinion on this mysterious title. I'm not willing just to give up during hard times of life, and the same mentality applies here. So, what do I think? Well, this game is nothing special. The idea sounds decent on paper, but it's poorly rendered into this cheap, sordid package. Aside from the incredibly piss poor presentation, the gameplay is not thrilling either. The basic principles are here. Follow the rhythm of the dancers on screen with your Wii remote, but when the visuals are this lackluster, the atmosphere just dims by a depressing amount. Nothing exciting is going on. Why is the background relegated to only a static image? Why is the same man used for dancing in every song? And why is the same crowd of people always applauding me for my performance? I've not been this concerned about a bunch of people clapping since I last saw Neon Genesis Evangelion. The controls also suck as well. They're often wonky, not recognized by the game, and no effort can be put into earning a big high score. Shake the Wii remote as lifeless as you can, and half the time you will achieve a perfect score.
Sam, watch this. That guy right there, he's a wanker.
I mean, for goodness sake, we could have at least seen a commendable attempt for smooth controls by adding support for Wii Motion Plus to improve motion accuracy, an accessory that was released 3 years before this tripe was churned out. If there's one good thing I can say is that all songs used are legitimate. At least the developers didn't resort to using cheesy MIDI renditions and slap the likeness of Andrew Lloyd Webber verbatim, but this leads to another problem. There are songs you can dance to and some you can only sing to. If you don't have a USB microphone in hand, you can't access half the game. I tried using my Blue Yeti mic, which works via USB, but that didn't work, for good or for worse. In conclusion, Andrew Lloyd Webber musical Sing and Dance falls flat in terms of an entertaining party for all to join. It might satisfy a few people, but does everything good about the likes of Just Dance except boring and abysmal. You know what's more interesting? Andrew's first contact in the universe of gaming was a remix of the famous Tetris theme tune under the pseudonym of Dr. Spin. And believe it or not, this song charted at number 6 in the UK singles chart upon release in 1992. While it's true that there are many rhythm-based games, it's vital to distinguish the good, bad and the ugly, like how White Snow and Yellow Snow are not the same frosty magic. If you're looking for a title guaranteed to be a hit with everyone, then stay clear of this cheap solution. It's like turning up to a party where the only drinks available are nothing but Tesco value horrors for consumption. There are many better titles in this genre, and one's precious time should not be wasted here, unless you're deliberately acting like a dickhead towards your friends by giving them this rusty, putrid game.
Dance wanker. Which wanker? Michael Jackson's back wanker. Lino wanker. Needs a DNA test to check the legitimacy of his fatherhood wanker. You're the wanker. I'm a wanker. We're all wankers. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And Happy New Year, I guess.